आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमेन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, mind, sensory and motor organs and all my life forces become perfected and efficient. Everything is verily the one absolute, all-pervading, blissful existence, the Brahman. Let me never deny this truth of oneness. Let the truth never reject me either. I understand that to realize this truth, one has to inculcate all the virtues spoken of by the scriptures. May these virtues be with me. Om, peace, peace, peace. Let us feel that we are like the salt dolls, getting dissolved in the infinite ocean of bliss. Now I find the bliss. The undying existence itself. I am immortal. I am the bliss. All names and forms, the different bodies, they appear and disappear on me. I remain. As the fundamental easiness, existence, untouched by time, space, causation. This is the abode of ultimate peace. I did send. Okay, forget it. It is actually the translation. I will read that translation from the book. One slide of translation didn't reach you. So, yeah, okay. Doesn't matter. So, friends, let us begin with our regular prayers. Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishvavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we be protected together. May we be nourished together. May we attain strength together. May our study make us illumined. May there be no dislike between us. Om, peace, peace, peace. So, in this discussion, this is, as you know, 26th class on Svetasvatara Upanisad, and we have been discussing methods to uh, meditate and feel the presence of that divine. And it is told in the two verses from Purusha Suktam. These are the common verses between Svetasvatara Upanishad and Purusha Sukta. Next two verses will be common in this Upanishad as well as in Bhagavad Gita. So this verse, Purusha eva idam sarvam, all that you see is that one being. Idam means that which is in your immediate vicinity. This. And the words this and that. This means that is close by. Otherwise, if you have to refer to something away, you say that. So, this means the universe of our day to day experience that we know, that is called this. Like this is Vedanta Society of Providence, the chapel, these are the congregation members, and this is in the city of Providence, and this is in the state of Rhode Island in United States, on this little planet called Earth in the solar system, which again is a small, tiny this system in the big galaxy. That galaxy again is a very tiny speck in the cluster of so many galaxies. And again, there are, you can go on and on. So, this is all this universe, it is huge, big. but it is in our brain, so has to have the size smaller than our brain. So it is big, but we have the idea of it. We see everything in our neural system. It is, we see it as the vibrations. It is there that we have the program called space. So distances and so forth, it is a program. So it is all really, although it is infinite distance, yet it is all encapsulated in our brain. So it is not really big, it is not there in that galaxy, it is right here. Mm. It is so this is the all that you see is that one being. This Purusha means the being in this city of body. That being is all this. Like when you are seeing a dream and you are sleeping, you are lying on the bed, and then you see a big, again a huge infinite universe, and you see so many things. There also you see a you, a you, and that you is riding on a unicorn or some such thing, and then going from one planet to another planet. No problem, doesn't need a SpaceX to go to Mars, can go in dream without that easily. So it is you go to many planets, and then you wake up. Uh, 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 I am just on my bed. And now, what was that unicorn and all those planets that went into, and then you met many celestial beings on different planets. All of them, what was that? Well, you alone, nothing else came there. You alone appeared as all that. So, this universe that you see is also like that. It is you who are all this universe. There is nothing else here. Do you understand, Naomi? Uh, yeah, it is all this body called, Naomi, this city of Providence where Naomi is, and the cat of Naomi, all that is Naomi. And the vet that is treating the cat, that also is the same one being. There are no other thing here. It is the one that appears as all this. Purusha evedagam sarvam yad bhutam yaccha bhavyam. That which is, that which was, and that which is yet to be, all past, present, future, because after all these are the variations created by our brain, past, present, future. The time itself is a creation of brain. It is a program called time. Just as there is a program called space, there is the program called time. Our brain has been, come factory installed by this time space program. So it comes with it. Like the computers that you buy, say from Dell computers. So it comes already installed with Microsoft. This system is already installed on it. So when we are born, this time space program is already installed on the brain. So therefore we see the distances here, there, and all that. So it is uh, it is, interesting to watch a newborn baby. and the ideas that it somehow is grappling with the new reality, and not able to see the idea of distances. It evolves, and then gradually the idea of near, far, mine, yours, all that gets concretized. But it is all actually one single being. There is nothing else. So sarvatha panipadam tat, that was earlier told, sorry, this new verse. This verse we had seen earlier, that whatever grows profusely, that all is that being itself. It is, you see the growth, the changes, all that. These buildings were not here. See, the Brown University is building so many new buildings, new constructions are happening all around. What is it all? It is all the self. Ah, and yet, the self is much more than the manifestation that you see. It is much more than that. It is, thus, you have to learn to feel this. This is a meditation. This is not just for an intellectual grasp, but it is a meditation. Yes, whatever is here is here, 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 here. There is nothing else than this being. It is, this is to be felt. That this, it should not be confused as this body is that body. No, it is the consciousness which is in one body is actually the same consciousness in all bodies. But that doesn't mean, in our uh, awareness of the manifold, that this is that and so all are same. No, here it is, everything appears to be distinct, and in appearance therefore everything is distinct. Naomi's cat is distinct from Naomi, and both of them are distinct than the weight. So it is, all these are different things. So, but it is like, if it is a video, here is she, here is the cat, here is the vet treating, all are the same canvas on which it is painted, or the same movie screen that goes in and through all of that. So that is to be, the seen, that that self runs in and through all these different appearances. Friends, it is not easy to fathom this truth unless we meditate. Intellectually, it is irrefutable. It is irrefutable, but intellect can just show us the possibility. It cannot really give it to you. So it is, uh, how do you get it? You have to meditate, go beyond intellect, feel that, grasp that through meditation. Let us not forget the initial verse in this Svetasvatara Upanisad that described that the sages got it through meditation. Te dhyana yoganugata apashyan devatma shaktim swagunair nighudham. That they, the sages who were looking for the answers for all these very intriguing questions, that where this universe arise from, what is the origin, what was there in the beginning, I mean, how it all came about. And now this question bothers all people, especially it assumes a big thing, big part of your thinking in the childhood. You feel that, well, there must be an answer. I used to ask this question, that what was there in the beginning? Who made all this and from what? How? Oh, God made it. But who made God then? This question you have just pushed behind, that's all. Okay, suppose God made it. Hmm, where from God? Well, I want to know that. Where comes God from? No answer was provided. Well, nobody made God. And then why do you need to somebody to make this? The same answer can be applicable here. If there is nobody who made God, nobody made this either. So why worry about who made this? So uh, you cannot find this answer by stretching your brain, because the brain is part of that puzzle, so you cannot really get the solution from it in the brain. It is the you have to therefore find a tool, a different tool, that is meditation, dhyana, yoga, that get united, get connected with meditation. Push aside this network, neural network that we are confined to. Mm. In that neural network, all this appears. Mm. So, therefore, go beyond that through meditation, and thus you can see that it is the same being. The reason tells you the possibility that yes, that must be the true thing, but how to find it? Well, go deep, and that is how the sages have described it through meditation, that it is that same one being, the Purusha eva idam sarvam, all this is verily that one being, and that is all pervading, everything subsists in that, and yet it is greater than the manifestation. It is not confined in the manifestation. The manifestation is appearing on the being. But the being is not confined to manifestation. It is like that. Uh, so, the next verse, which is common here as well as in Bhagavad Gita, that is सर्वतः पाणिपादं तत् सर्वतोक्षिशिरोमुखम्. It will be all right, sometimes the vocal cords and they get under a little extra strain, so it will come all right. Yes, it is not that I am trying to bring specially a hoarse voice, but it सर्वतः पाणिपादं तत् सर्वतोक्षिशिरोमुखं सर्वतः श्रुतिमल्लोके सर्वमावृत्य तिष्ठति. This verse is the 13th verse in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The translation reads, with hands and feet everywhere, with eyes, heads and mouths everywhere, with ears everywhere, that exist, pervading in the universe. The emphasis in this is that exists, because if it is like that, you may say it may not exist. It is just all is hallucination, including that being also is hallucination. What is the proof that it is? Now the proof is given in a secondary way. I mean, unless you get there, you will not get the real proof. Through meditation, when you get there, then you are convinced. But you can be given some secondary evidence of it, and this verse does that. Like whether Vedanta Society exists, Vedanta Society of Providence exists or not, somebody, say, sitting somewhere, say, in Africa, may try to find out, is such a place there? Where is it? So, uh, may see on internet a picture, may see some photographs, may find the directions and all that. So, will get convinced that yes, such a place is there. But real conviction only will come when that person takes the trouble of traveling all the way to Providence, then he is at least Vedanta Society of Providence, but Providence is real. I got into Providence. Now you come to Vedanta Society and then you are convinced. Yes. So, but first you get the conviction. Even before you start the journey, you don't want to take up this laborious, tiresome, long journey before first making sure that such a place is. It is not something in a storybook. It is not a fiction. The places in fiction, and that it is, you read in Harry Potter of a city where mm, that wizardry school was. Where was that? Do you know? That Hogwarts. So now, if somebody thinks that let me go to Hogwarts, uh, well, it is only in the book, it is not a real place. So, Vedanta Society of Providence, is it real? Oh, yes, it is shown in Google Map. It is there in Google Earth. You can see the picture also. So, if you trust Google, it is there. Nowadays, we trust Google more than anything. So it is in Google, but we forget that it is we who put information there, and then Google just shows. Many are so convinced that it is true, it is real, it is correct. Why? Because it is in Google. Well, we people put it on Google. All of you can, anybody can put things on Google. So it is, but you still get some that idea. Yes, it must be real. So you then uh, feel that it is, yes, there is this place. Oh, what happened? Hmm? Okay, yeah. So, uh, how is how do you know that such a thing is? Like, how do you know that there is electric power here? Say, well, don't you see these lights functioning, this sound system functioning, the heat is flowing through, all that? What does it show? The presence of electricity. Although you cannot see electricity by your eyes, you cannot say, okay, give me some electricity in this glass. No, it is not tangible like that. But you see all these things functioning, that gives you the idea that there is electricity. So when the question comes that where is that you are talking of, that all pervading reality, where is it? It may not actually exist. How do you know that it is? Well, all that you see, sarvata panipadam tat, all these hands and feet and the movement and the head, sarvata, all the eyes functioning, all that is his. manifestation. That being manifests like all this, through, in and through all this. It is in and through all this that being is manifesting. That is where you can find it, just as you can find electricity in this. So you find the electricity, this being, in everything in the world. Switch off, and then this is gone. So switch off this being, let it fall asleep, and this world is gone. You don't see anything. You afterwards somebody would tell that this was happening. Did you notice? Well, I was blissfully asleep. I didn't see anything. I was asleep. And so it is when in sleep you have switched it off. So therefore this whole universe is gone. When you switch it on, then everything again reappears. So this is the like the world, that the world is all this being, just as all appliances are functioning through electricity. You see all these different names and forms, all sense organs, motor organs, all are because of that one being. Switch it on, it manifests. Switch it off, it is gone. So therefore that is the evidence for it, that sarvamavritya tishtati. It is with hands and feet everywhere, with eyes, heads and mouths everywhere, with ears everywhere, that exists, pervading everything in the universe. And then next verse is, when we read this verse, because of our attachment and the sense that this world is, we feel okay, then this is the Brahman. These chairs are that reality. This Charlie sitting there, that is that Brahman. This has become all this. The Brahman has become all these things. So it used to be one without second earlier, but now it has been divided, transformed into all this. Like you have, say, milk, and then Vishwanath puts some culture in it, and then next day you see, where is the milk gone? That is that yogurt that you see. That yogurt is the milk converted into yogurt. Now there is no more milk. Milk was, but the milk has been converted into yogurt. So like that, that one without second reality was, now it has been transformed into all this. uh, that may become our understanding. Okay, now that reality is transformed into this world, this form. Here this Richard and Rosio and Paul and all that, that reality has been converted into all these things. So it used to be one some previous time, some long, long ago, it used to be milk. Now it is yogurt. Conversion, transformation. It is in the next verse, it says, no, no, it appears like this. That's all, without any actual transformation. That one reality appears as this universe. This universe is abhas, that is the word used here, an hallucinating experience. Like hallucination, it is, there is no substance to it, it just appears. It is mm, a visual deception. It is uh, because like a cataract, when one's eye has a cataract, then you see many deceptions. There was one nice article written by a person who a very philosophical mind. So when he had cataract, he in that article nicely wrote that how one gets deceived because of that vision, cataract vision, and that things appear different. He would call that some lady thinking that she is his wife. So, hey, and then it turned out to be a different person, had to say, sorry, no, 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 I didn't mean that. It is so many such confusions occur because well, your vision is blurred, you are not seeing the reality. It is now that thing hasn't changed. Without any change in that person, the appearance becomes different, that's all. So, it is they suddenly say one appears as two. What happened, this is I am where from these three things came there. Oh, it was one, but because of the that problem in the vision, it appears as two or three. A man went to the eye specialist saying that, oh doctor, the problem is I see two things. The doctor said, all right, but why two people have come to tell this? So, it is that so it is we all have that. The point is that since we all have the same vision problem, we don't see it as problem. So it is the without any change, that thing looks as something very different than what it is. So, similarly, that one being, without any change, not that the milk becoming yogurt, no, and absolutely no transformation there. It still appears as this world, Sarvendriya Gunabhasam, Sarvendriya Vivarjitam, Sarvasya Prabhumishanam, Sarvasya Sharanam Sirit. The last line, the second line of this verse is not from Bhagavad Gita. It is, but the first line is Sarvendriya Gunabhasam, Sarvendriya Vivarjitam, and he is missing that slide for its translation. So I will read the translation from the book. They realize that being him as shining by the functions of all senses, yet without the senses, as the Lord of all, the ruler of all, the refuge of all, and the friend of all. It is, as I had mentioned earlier, that this chapter emphasizes on that bhakti yoga to inculcate devotion. That reality is our reality. That is where we have to take refuge in. That idea is there. That that one being, that self, it is uh, being seen as all this, but actually this is all an illusory appearance. There is no actually that one being got converted into all this, while remaining as it is. it appears as all this. The transformations, the change, is that it goes in this manifestation. There is no actual change in having this universe from that one without second being. That once without second being, without absolutely any change, appears as this. Just as because of the cataract, without any change in that thing, you see it differently. It is sometimes it is just an assumption. I told you that in dark, in an area that there in New York upstate, they our nun thought that it is a bear, although it is log of wood. So she stopped her car and let the bear pass, because the bears have the right of way, you see. So that is a rule that is not in the rule book as such, but every driver has to know there that the bears have the right of way. So she stopped, allowing time for the bear to pass. The bear was not moving, and then from the other side another car came from the opposite direction, and in the light she saw, oh, it is a log of wood. Now the log of wood appeared as a bear. Now, did the log of wood undergo any transformation in this whole process? Nothing. So, similarly, that one being appears as all this, and when this all this is gone, it is the same thing. Nothing happened, nothing came, nothing went. That is called Maya. Appears and disappears. The Maya has two functions. It is just to explain the Maya's two functions are told what? One is covering and the other is projection. It is adhyaropa apavad. That one is that it covers the reality. It covers the reality, and then other is it projects that which is not there. That it is covering. That well, the log of wood was not seen, it got covered, and then instead it projected a bear there. So the truth that one without second reality is not perceived, and that non perception of that, uh, there you see all this world, this coming, going, this I, you, I am healthy, I am not healthy, all that, this is my father, this is my mother, this is my child, all these things, it is all projection on that one without second reality. This is my house, this is where I live, this is my job that I do, this is how much I earn every year, and so forth. All that is a projection. Mm. It is without any transformation, this projection happens. That what do you say, Swamiji? This is not real. Prithvish may say, my pain in the shoulder is real. It is, if you say that it is not unreal, how can I believe? My shoulder has this pain. It is, in fact, that is how when the pain is there. A man told, that he had tremendous that toothache, and so said, what it appears that all world is unreal except the aching tooth is real. So because that is always giving the reminder, I am here, I am real, and so forth. Bless you. So it is, yeah, that is real. That sneezing is appears to be real, but no, that also is a projection. All this is just a projection. Mm, not real. Without any transformation, that one being appears as all this. So sarvendriya gunabhasam. This is all these, through the sense organs, you see that all this appearing, like you have a kaleidoscope and you see so many, infinitely many patterns. All that, nothing is real in that, it is only maybe a bead of glass, a couple of beads of glass are there, and you keep on rotating. You can spend, children spend hours, in seeing that. They tell another friend, this is the best of all that I saw. Please see. And then it turns, it changes. Oh, so it is. Oh, this world is changing like that, and no stability there. It is not real. So, uh, it is actually devoid of any organs, and that is the Lord of the whole universe. That is manifesting as all this, and Ishanam, governor of all this. It is Lord, it governs everything, and then is the refuge of all. Sarvasya Sharanam Sirat. Sarvasya Sharanam. Take refuge in that. That is where your prayers must go. That may I get this knowledge. May my delusion vanish. This prayer is very nice. Many things that cannot be approached through a dry intellect can then, the prayer makes the path very easy. The prayer makes it very comparatively easy. I saw one man was with a saw cutting a steel bar. Quang, kang, kang, kang. Uh, and would put some water from time to time. Why water? Well, that makes the things easier, to keep on. The heat is taken out, and then they whatever. But that man was adding water, and then kang kang. So similarly, meditate, but have this prayerful attitude that makes the things much easier. That you have the spirit of surrender, that makes the whole, the fulcrum of this appearance, as it were, it is, its force is reduced. This ego is reduced by prayers, that anybody can feel the ego, because it is that ego is the center of all this appearance. I am this and this. This is mine. This is not mine. This is this is. So when the ego is subdued through prayers, then it helps. So sarvasya sharanam, that is the refuge of all. And but well, if I try to take refuge, and it will just, if that kicks me away, you fellow, I don't care for you, because I had done so many bad things in my life. I know I had not been always a very good person. Everybody can say like that. Even a little child, I remember that children's group had come here just for knowing what is Hinduism and all that. So I was talking to them, asked the child that, well, are you always a good child? And then that little girl, yeah, sometimes I am not. So if we ask ourselves, we will see that, well, I had not been always a great person. I had my share of many wrongdoings and so forth. So, therefore, you may feel, will that uh, God accept me? If I take refuge in that God, will that be okay, or it will just reject me? There is a psychology, there is a very important point, that fear of rejection, and that therefore people hesitate to approach. You have to be courageous, because that fear of rejection is there. The aspiring salespersons therefore are told, because they are new, they feel hesitant. If I approach that person, if I go into this building, I have to show them the products and all that. But if they summarily reject me, like I do, that when I get sales calls, always happening. So I just switch off the phone. If I do not even make any courtesy answer, just switch it off. So that person is afraid that I will be rejected. Now that person is told in the training, don't worry, tell yourself, where are you right now? I am on the road. When you are rejected, where will you be? You will be on the road, nothing much. So give it a try. That, but here it is told to ward off that fear, that surit. That is really, surit means very good at heart. Rit means heart. Is a very kind-hearted being. So approach. Very kind-hearted being. Sri Ramakrishna used to say again and again, oh, pray to God with yearning, that God will listen to your prayers. The God will grant your prayers. The God is very kind-hearted. That kind-heartedness, that compassion is the our solace. That how, where can we go without that compassion of Lord? It is so. It is told here that compassionate Lord is just waiting for your prayers. That Lord will grant your prayers. And then the next verse illustrates, oh, that through all these sense organs, Navadvare Pure Dehi Hamso Lelayate Bahi Vashi Sarvasya Lokasya Sthavarasya Characharasya. It is he who resides in the body, the city of nine gates. It's he is the soul, the sports that sports in the outside world. He is the master of the whole world, animate and inanimate. It is through the sense organs, that one being is kind of projected out and assumes all these different forms. Like when that being goes out through the eyes, you have the visual perception. That being is projecting from the eye, and you see the world. And then instead of feeling that it is the projection of the self through the eye, you see that as real. When that being goes through the holes of ears, then you see it as all sounds. This is a vessel with nine holes. Mm, Nine holes through which it goes out. These sense organs and motor organs Sometimes they are described as 10, sometimes as 9. And the description sometimes it says that the five sense organs and the inner that internal organ which has four functions, that mind, intellect, memory, and ego. So these five elements and this five sense organs and this together, uh, that nine holes. Through these nine holes, you see this being goes out and appears as this universe. And then instead of that being thing being thought as real, this universe gets thought as real. Shankaracharya gives a great example in his Dakshinamurti Stotra. I love that example, so good. Now, that analogy is very illustrative. That imagine in a, say, a metal pot. Mm. In that metal pot, a lamp is kept, and then there are holes to that pot. Through those holes, the light of the lamp is coming. Now, if you don't know the lamp, you think that these holes, their light. And wherever it gets reflected, you see that light there. So it is we, and we forget that it is not the light of those holes. It is the light of the lamp. Mm. So it is this self that is through all these holes, Navadware, out of these nine apertures, nine doors, it is Lelayate, it is having its play, and so forth. So that is what is causing this. We shall continue the discussion on this verse and the next verses. Probably next class should be the last class on this chapter. It is it has 21 verses, and we are right now discussing the 18th one. So we shall try to see that on next Friday. So uh, we will meditate for 30 seconds, and then if you have any question, you can ask that. Yes, please. Yes, Paul. So, so hold on to it, hold on to it. When again it appears to be nonsense because our understanding changes. So then remind, hey, that made sense to you that day. What happened now? So hold on to this moment when it is making sense. Thank you, Paul. Yes, Richard. Uh, huh? Ah. Very good, very good. Yeah, exactly. Give it a try, because after all these are analogies. There is no way to explain without that. And then we have to, you are very correct that Shankaracharya or any other person has to give analogies. That is what Jesus also did, taught through parables. The parables means the analogies, that it is so you see that it is out of their compassion. This they are seeing it. They are having this experience. Now to transmit that experience to us, now they have to, invent something that we can connect to. Exactly like that. Any other question? So, we shall conclude with the closing prayers. Coming Sunday, it is the Rama festival, the birth anniversary of Rama, and we have a wonderful guest lecture by Swami Ishatmananda, the head of the Vivekananda Vedanta Society in Chicago. So he will be speaking on Rama, Rama, the best amongst men, Purushottama. So the best. So it is, and then there will be a devotional music concert, the various bhajans and all on Rama by a very well-known singer, Dattatreya Velankar. So it came as a Rama sent, I was looking for some nice program, but when I sent fillers to some singers, they were not available on this day. So I said, let it be what is. And then suddenly I receive a phone call from Pandit Dattatreya Velankar that, I was booked for a concert in Houston that got cancelled. So can I come? I said, well, excellent, please come. So it is, that is how this concert is arranged by Rama himself. So so make it a point to attend that. So I will conclude with the regular closing prayers. And yes, there is a retreat coming up. We have not till put the posters, but it is given in the flyer for in April that by Swami Atmajnananda from Washington DC Center. He will be giving a retreat on May 11, Saturday, May 11, and the registration is available either online or right here in the office with Naomi. You can register early because I think by 28th April the concessional registration will be over. So you will then have to, if this space remains, then you can register after that at $10 extra price. So it is, of course, if you don't have lot of money, you don't have to worry about it. So uh, let us conclude with the closing prayers. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.